That's big business. Hit town, but that's big pimpin'. My potential, that's infinite. Pin game insane. Make hits like King Griffin, a 10th inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 36 of the 10th Inning Podcast. And yes, we are in person today. First one in a while. As always, I'm Sean. He's Dan.
Not much today. We're going to go to the water. Oh, God, I disappeared. We got magic. That's what we got today for what I'm holding up. Holding up magic.
Absolutely. We're happy to be together. You know, the chemistry flows a little bit better. And, you want to agree?
No, agree. All right.
We're at what week in the season are we?
This is 9.
Week 9? I can't believe it's already 9 weeks.
Week 9 recap.
Week 9.
And I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Yeah, and what was the league news that we want to get into today, Sean?
So there was a fair amount of stuff that happened. First off, the Angels finally broke their 14-game losing streak with the win over the Red Sox, and then proceeded to put a beating on the Mets last night. Mike Trout had 2 home runs, but before that, I was
which you can't see. I'm gonna slightly go like this. I think maybe it'll.
And before they broke that losing streak, they fired their manager Joe Madden, which I think was a pretty brash move. The guy has won World Series, won many games in the major league, and they kind of threw him to the side. But hey, the Phillies fired Joe Girardi. So it seems that managers aren't getting the leash that they used to get years ago, you know. And then, I actually had someone that day that asked me if they think he was going to get fired, and I said no. I think they're going to, hold on. He's only been there for, I think this is his 3rd year, first year being the COVID year, so that was kind of a weird thing there, but pretty wild. I don't know what you think about that.
I don't know, man. I mean, it was a tough losing streak, but they also started the season in first place, which no one imagined anyway. I think they basically lost back to where people thought they would be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I just think everything evened out. And they just had a lot of wins in the beginning, and then he got screwed. The Angels are, a little bit better than a 500 ball club. If they win 85 games, I think they should consider that a really big success. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe.
Joe Madden, he'll get a job soon. But something interesting is that he's known as a player's manager, and I think he's been accused of coddling players a little bit in the past. So maybe that kind of bit him in the butt. But yeah, I guess when you lose 14 games in a row, at the time it was, I think, 12. I guess something has to change in the manager. You can't fire all the players, so you got to fire the manager. And then, I think it was yesterday, news broke or confirmation that Walker Buehler is going to be out at least 6 to 8 weeks. Actually, I don't think he can throw a ball for 6 to 8 weeks, so he's going to be out longer than that. Frankly, he's been struggling. Not the best pitcher in the rotation at all. You said that he'd be the 4th best pitcher at the end of the year. And right now, he may not even be the 5th best pitcher with Kersh back. Yeah. But that's a tough blow for the rotation for the old Dodgers.
I think they'll be fine. We'll call up some random guy. He'll be fine. We'll get someone. I really wish we'd get Alex Wood back. I'm a big fan of Alex Wood. He's with the Giants, obviously, at this point. Right? Or is he with the Padres now? No, he's with the Giants.
He's with the Giants, yeah.
Padres have every other pitcher in the league currently, rocking that 7-man rotation, which could be 8-man soon, with their prospect Warren Home possibly getting called up. That is a wild staff. Probably, I think, the greatest staff possibly ever, just as far as depth goes. Like, as far as like pitchers, the Dodgers, like, within the last 5 years, have had some of the greatest staffs of all time. Nationals have pushed for that as well when Corbin wasn't, complete hot garb. But I mean, just as far as depth goes, they have like 6 2s.
Yeah,
like they have like 6 high 2s.
It's disgusting how good they are.
I don't know if that was the question, Sean, but I answered it.
No, that was beautiful.
And I will say I did research when you were talking. Joe Madden, 3 years with the Angels. You got to bring him the truth, Sean.
What was he like? How many years with the Cubs?
You said 3.
For the Cubs, it was 15, 16, 17. I think he got fired after 18 or 19, probably. It was 5 years with the Cubs from 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think it was 5 years with the Cubs.
I'm not even going to check this time.
I had to count out my fingers. You just can't see. And go on with managers. I know the well-established manager, Tony La Russa, is really should have just stayed in retirement. He's kind of making a fool of himself the past couple of years. Well, last year, Yerman Mercedes, that whole thing, he swung at a 3-0. I mean, give me a break. He had a home run. The guy it's position player pitching, nonetheless. Tony La Russa, it was 2 runners on, and Trey Turner was down on a 1-2 count.
I think runner on second.
On a second, 1-2 count, and decided to intentionally walk Trey Turner. Then Max Muncy came up and hit a home run and proceeded to yell many expletives in the direction of Tony La Russa, which I'm all here for. Max Muncy is a very angry man. Let's say he's Dan's doppelganger. We've never seen him in the same room together, so maybe you got Max Muncy here. Either way, very bizarre. Tony La Russa, I don't know. In Chicago, they were chanting "Fire La Russa" yesterday, so fans have turned on him. They're having a bit of a down year so far, but.
Sean, I'm going to take an odd perspective here.
Yeah.
You're not going to like it. No one is. I said it last year when I did the same thing to Corey Seager. I thought it was a good move. Now here's where it's not a good move because Tony La Russa has access to all the information. I think baseline, Trey Turner's up with a guy on second base and a lefty's coming up with a lefty on the mound. I'll take first and second, regardless of the count, even 1-2, versus a lefty, then 1 and 2 versus Trey Turner with a runner in scoring position. That's my take. However, Max Muncy hits lefties almost better than he hits righties. He has reverse splits, basically. And Max Muncy is not the guy you want to be messing with. So in that specific situation, knowing Max Muncy's personality and how he hits, terrible decision. But versus a regular lefty, any other lefty that is regular splits, I don't hate the decision as much, I guess, as other people do. I don't hate it as bad because when you look at, I think they did a breakdown, and they were saying it negatively too. I think Trey Turner's hitting 265 in 1-2 counts this season, and the major league average for 0-0 counts is 240. So technically, Trey Turner hits better than a guy 0-0, any random average MLB player. The issue is, again, Max Muncy's not an average MLB player, struggling this year, but you don't want to disrespect Max. If you figured out one thing watching baseball, don't disrespect Max Muncy. He'll take you a yak anytime he feels.
What I've not a question, but like what I understand is why not just walk him outright instead of throwing 3 pitches and then getting them in a 1 and 2 count. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's kind of an interesting thing.
I believe it was Seager last time. It was because there was a wild pitch and the guy advanced a second.
Gotcha.
This. I don't know the exact situation. I think he was on second to begin with.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me from that perspective. No.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. And of course Max Muncy hit a home run. If this happened and Max Muncy grounded out, no one would have said a word. But he had to hit a home run and Max Muncy had to jaw into the dugout of the White Sox. Which was that is mad for you. Also interesting thing. Dodgers Mets game this year, this week. Position player can't pitch unless the team is down by 6 runs. They were trying to bring in a pitcher. The only person who knew that rule was Buck Showalter. The umpires didn't even realize that was a rule. They had to call into New York to figure out the rule book. So that was kind of interesting. I didn't know it was a rule.
I didn't know it was a rule until you just told me right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
the umpire should know it. Probably the manager should know it, but I don't know. Buck Showalter's the one who knew it. But it's kind of an interesting little quirk that you don't really hear about, which is interesting because I've seen a lot of people recently say that position player pitching is kind of lost its luster and it kind of makes the game a little more gimmicky. They kind of want to limit it. Well, I guess there already is a rule in place. So
how long has that rule been in place? Forever.
Probably has been forever. Yeah.
I think that's something that should go because there's more and more position players now that are probably able to.
Yeah.
What does that stand with Shohei? If Shohei's playing right field or DH for some reason, can they not bring him in to close a game? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess not.
If he's playing right field, because we go to the World Series last year when there's no universal DH, could he not have come in to close the game? Because
maybe not, unless maybe they could list him as pitcher / outfielder, and in that case, he is the different.
Then I would list every player / pitcher.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah. No,
eligibility wise.
That's weird. I wasn't watching that end of the game because it was late at night. It was a West Coast game, but that was interesting. Speaking of, we talked earlier about managers getting fired. The Phillies, I guess Joe Girardi is just the worst manager in the history of baseball because the Phillies have now rattled off 9 wins and have gotten themselves over 500. I think they're 8.5 back of the NL East, and then the Braves have won 10 in a row and are now 5.5 back in the NL East. The Mets have lost down from, I think, 11 games to 5.5 games, which is the most Mets thing ever. I guess at least they're doing it in June and not September like they've done in the past. Both teams are on fire. Acuna's hitting, ripping the cover off the ball. For the Phillies, Rhys Hoskins, Schwarber, they're finally hitting. I mean, you couldn't hit much worse than 188 for Kyle Schwarber. Sorry, but you've had a good week. They've been absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire. So, you kind of figure when they fired Girardi that they'd get a spark. I don't know if anybody ever predicted a 9-game winning streak, but I'm getting worried. I'm getting very worried.
As you should.
Very worried.
I'll have something to say about that a little bit later in the Fix to Click question, which I'm sure you'll like.
It always is that way. This one is, me and Dan were talking about this earlier. Gabriel Moreno had his first big league hit yesterday in his big league debut.
Good.
And this is near and dear to a player that Dan talked about last week. So, Dan, what are your opinions on him getting the call and the start?
I mean, Alejandro Kirk being like almost undisputedly like in Major League Baseball, not just for me, like the player of the week last year, hitting 322 right now with like I think I'm gonna guess more walks and strikeouts. So I'm gonna ask you to fact check me on that. I'm gonna guess he's got more walks and strikeouts, or it's very close. He's like when you fill out the All-Star Game ballot, which we'll be doing for you at some point, so stay tuned for that. He's the guy you picked for the All-Star in the American League as far as catchers go. Like, he is performing very well. So to bring up your top prospect catcher just seems, I don't know, it almost like a confidence hit. Like, why would you do that? Like, even if you have a lot of faith in Moreno, Moreno's a good player. I'm sure he'll be very good. You have a guy that just took over the role because Jansen got hurt. I get you want to have 2 catchers on the roster, but this is when you bring back a Reese McGuire or someone like that. You don't bring in someone that's going to, in game 1, call up day 1, Moreno gets the start. Like, what does that say for Alejandro Kirk? You have to move one of them. And I guess it's Kirk. I mean, he just improved so much defensively, too. It's just, I don't know if I'm Kirk, how I'm feeling.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a confidence shaker. It's interesting to see how he plays after this, especially if they split the time. He's used to being the main guy. Splitting time is.
He's got the main guy job literally 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's done nothing but rake with it.
Yeah. Absolutely. He has 21 walks and 17 strikeouts. So, yes. Hitting 325.
What do you want? 325, 5 bombs, I think, or 4 or 5 bombs.
He has 5 bombs, 18 RBIs. No stolen bases. You got to pick that up.
Well, he's just got to pick that up. I'll give you that. Maybe that's what this is.
Yeah. They're trying to get him to run a little more.
I don't know, man. I don't like the move. Both of them on my dynasty team. Because of this, because they've been weird about Kirk. Since the beginning, they called him up. They wouldn't start him. With Danny Jansen and these other hot garbage catchers, they're getting PT over Kirk. So I'm like, clearly they don't love him. They got to trade Kirk. He's got to go to, man, give Kirk to the Yankees. And I never say about players I like because I hate them to go to the Yankees because they ruin things. But Kirk, a lot of his homers are oppo too. You get Kirk with a short porch and right. He's going to be a 20-homer type guy hitting 320. Oh, my God. We're talking about the best catcher. We're talking about Buster Posey 2.0.
Wow. That is
wow. That's what we're talking about here.
Johnny Bench.
Alejandro Kirk.
Oh boy. I don't know how to follow that up other than just changing the subject. The Marlins held a 90-minute players only meeting the other day. And the topic of conversation was Jazz Chisholm and his antics, and apparently he's rubbing everybody in the clubhouse the wrong way, which is interesting because they've won 5 games in a row since then. So I guess maybe that helped. Tom Mattingly's a good manager. I had to pause because he doesn't necessarily agree. He knows what he's doing.
God, watch the Dodgers playoff runs from 2012 to 2016 or whatever. You let me know if he knows what he's doing. Ruined Clayton Kershaw's postseason career stat. Ruined. 8 runs in the 7th inning of the game. What manager lets a player give up 8 runs after 90 pitches? Have you ever, in the playoffs, have you ever even heard of that? It happened multiple times.
I don't even know what I was saying. Jazz Chisholm. All right. He's having a decent year. I have the stats pulled up.
I don't like all that jazz, man.
He's in like 254. 257, excuse me. 12 home runs, 40 RBIs, not bad. Over 800 OPS plus 141. So yeah, it's a solid year. But even look at his picture.
Jazzy.
I'm surprised he rubs the teammates the wrong way because he's kind of a new era player. He's flash like Acuna type, but not. He's far like Acuna in his flash. Not as as good as Acuna. But I feel like a lot of the younger players now are like that. They like players to let them play, let the kids play, whatever they say. So I'm surprised that it's rubbing them the wrong way. Especially the guys like Jesus Aguilar on the team, who's been known as a very good clubhouse guy. Everybody loves him. But yeah, that's a bit of a problem that I haven't been able to watch him tons. Mets haven't played the Marlins yet this year, but he definitely has potential. But he's gonna have to figure out how to, I guess, tone it down a bit while still maintaining his flair.
I don't even know what to say about Jazz.
Yeah.
A lot of people are high on him. I had him outside my top 10. I know whoever we had on the show, I would have had him on it or something. I don't know. I don't know about Jazz. That's all I'm going to leave it as. I don't know about him. But I'll get us into our next segment, and that is, everyone loves King Stats for the week.
Absolutely.
I'll input a video right now for how the Bush's games went.
That's game. Hey, Matt! Let's go, baby!
Second baseman's head. Nice piece, kid.
Good now.
That's down the mid. Here comes Zeke. The gram. Good piece.
All right, we're back. So my stats for the week: had a great 2-game series for men's, a really shitty one for co-ed. So we went 2-2. 25 innings pitched this week for me, so we did long some innings on the old arm here. 12 walks and 7 Ks. So over the 2 games, 14 innings for men's, 1 walk. 1 walk and 4 Ks for men's. 1 walk and 2 Ks, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't shortchange yourself there.
I know. And then for co-ed, 11 walks. The worst start I've had in over 2 years. I picked up 5 Ks, but that is bad. And at the dish, 9 for 16, hit 565, a double, 7 runs, 5 stakes, and 4 walks. Okay, I'd rather be hitting closer to 650 than 560. Flip those around with a little dyslexia, would be fine. Going to whiffs, I went 1-0 again this week. We're 3-0 on the season. I went 2 for 8, had a triple. It was a 3-run triple, and that was pretty much the end of it. That's all the offense I needed. Again, I feel good on the mound right now. I'm dialed in on the mound as far as wiffle ball pitching. Moving on to our picks to click. So last week there were 3 players with 4 triples. Ramirez, McNeil, and Jazz Chisholm. At the end of this week, how many players will have 5 triples? None of them got a 5th triple.
Really?
Sean had 1. I said 2. I said Jazz and McNeil. Sean said just Jose. So no one gets a point there. Okay. Number 2, Sean falsely includes Pete Alonso, accused of having the most RBIs in the league last week. And Alonso has surpassed Jose for the league lead. Would you be lying if you said that again? Yes, he would. Jose has 58, Pete has 54, and is injured, I believe.
He came back last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's sabotage. You got him in command. So
Listen, I made a couple calls, so that's 1 point for me. Okay. 1-0. Sean, are you going to get a point this week? I don't know. The Royals have 17. Reds have 18 wins. Did either of them crack 20 by the end of the week? They both did. Royals went on a 3-game winning streak. They swept, and the Reds had an okay week. So they both ended with 20 wins exactly. Both of us said just the Reds would, so we got that wrong. 1-0 on the week, which brings us to the comeback is real. It's 9-9, and now the first 1 to 10 thing, that's in play, Sean. That's an extra bonus point if I get there. How you feeling the league? The lead is dissipated. It's gone.
No, I'm feeling a little nervous, but I have faith in our systems, our way of doing things, and our scouting department for this week's pick to click. Even though I have no idea what they are.
I mean, we could get into our let's see, our hitter highlight for the week. You want to go first or second?
I can go first. It is one of Dan's personal favorites. He's very annoyed he's signed with the Mets. Eduardo Escobar. The guy got out to a bit of a slow start this year. He was hitting 220 up until about, I'd say late May, not too long ago. But ever since then, it's turned it on. His defense was iffy in the beginning. He's also done better than that as well. To start out the week, I'm not sure what day it was.
6th, I believe.
It was the 6th. He had a cycle. The first day of our new week, he hit for a cycle against the Padres. First Met to do that since 2012. And Dan, I want to ask you, who was that Met in 2012 that hit for the cycle? No, he left the Mets in 2011. 2011 was his last year.
Okay.
You're
All right, because the Marlins was the big 2012 sign everybody. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever get it. You might not. You may probably even forgot the name of the player.
2011, you're saying? Didn't Jose have a cycle with the Mets?
He did in 2006. He was the next previous Met.
Okay. I remember him hitting the cycle. You're saying that was 2006?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know why I remember. I was pretty young to remember that. It's not like Lucas Duda or some shit.
No, he had a brother who played in the major leagues as well. Scott Harrison.
Scott Harrison. Oh my God! Don't tell me his other brother.
He played for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Can we tell you
What's his other brother's name?
Gary Harrison.
Gary Harrison. Yeah.
Harrison Jr.
The Harrison twins. Are they twins, right or no?
I don't know.
I thought they were twins. A little bit of an olive complexion on those fellas. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
A little bit of an olive complexion.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They bounced around the league.
Good. Scott Harrison.
I remember one of them with the Padres, I feel like.
I think Gary played for. Oh, Scott. Yes, he was Padres right there. He was like the Mets' best player that year.
Wow, I forgot about the Harrisons. That's something I usually don't like completely forget about some players. I forgot about the Harrisons.
So he was born May 25th, 1980.
I'm gonna say they're twins. That's what I'm gonna say.
29th, 1976. It's 4 years apart. He looks actually quite a bit different than his brother.
I remember them looking pretty similar.
Yeah, I think the pictures there were just wrong or off.
I'll throw some pictures up right now of the olive complexion.
Here's the Harrison test.
But thank you for, I mean, our hitter highlights for the week should have been the Harrison brothers. Clearly.
Friends of the pod.
Friends of the pod. Please hop on whenever you watch this. Jerry and Scott, please hop on. We would love to have you on the podcast.
He had 589 career hits, Scott Harrison.
There you go.
Well, he played for the Mets for 2 years. That's played for someone longer than that.
Sean's going to be enamored by this for a good amount of time, as he should. Catch Jerry's career hit totals while I give him their hit highlight for the week. It's going to be Byron Buxton.
Yeah, tomorrow had a great week.
He's a friend of the pod. He knows what he did.
Yeah.
He knows what he did. Byron went 7 for 17 this week, 411, 8 runs, a double, 5 dingers, and 7 stakes. So he came back from a little bit of a, Buxton likes to get injured in and out every single week. He's going to strike out, and he's going to be streaky-ish, but he's hitting the ball as hard as ever and still playing a wonderful center field. The one thing I was interested in showing, 94th percentile for sprint speed, only one bag this year in 44 games.
Wow.
It's a little bit disappointing at Byron.
He's one of the speedster.
Something you'd wish that he would use for his game a little bit more. But clearly he's not really doing that. Anything on the hit total? Because now I'm going to look up.
Gary Harrison?
Yeah.
He played much longer than his brother, and he had about 1,100 hits.
1,100, hey, cracking 1,000 hits.
He did crack 1,000. He played for 16 years, which helped. years of Baltimore.
Yeah.
7 years of Baltimore, 2 with the Dodgers, 2 with Texas, 2 with Chicago Cubs, 2 with Cincinnati, 1 with San Diego, 1 with the Nationals, 1 with the Yankees, 1 with Milwaukee.
What you're telling me is they both played with San Diego,
Different times though.
but they both did play. There's no point.
They played one.
All right, folks. Buxton had 29 bags in 2017, but he really hasn't stole a lot of bases since then.
That's weird. You know,
I thought yeah.
that's weird. Like I know Brandon Newell of the Mets has a lot of speed, but he doesn't like to steal bases either. And some players just don't like to do it for
Buxton is one of the fastest, 94 percentile. He uses the speed, obviously, in the outfield.
Yeah.
But you'd like to see that translated to a little bit.
He's had a bit of an average wise 236. I thought it was higher because earlier in the year people were saying Buxton for MVP. I don't know if it started out hot.
Started out hot, struggled for a long time, and then just had a really good week this week.
Yeah.
I think he was hitting like 210 or 208 before this week. He bumped it up like 30 points. But God bless you, Byron. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you improve going forward. I'm going to jump straight into my pitchers for the week, Sean. I'm not going to give it to you. We're going to talk about a guy. I cheated a little bit because this guy had 2 starts, but the first start was on Saturday of last week, technically. But when you have something go well in the pod, you gotta go for it. Our pitcher to watch from I think 2 weeks ago, Luis Severino, is now our pitcher highlight, which is exciting. That means we're doing stuff. And you can say it's a gimme. Luis Severino's a good pitcher. But coming off of injury with a 4 ERA, I don't know. People might have started to get a little iffy on him. He went 1-0, 13 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 20 Ks. And the one thing I said about it on the pitcher to watch is his K rate is down 8 to 9% from where its career norms are. That's going to come back up. 20 Ks over 13 innings looks like it is. ERA is down to 280 from when it was 4.08 when he made the pitcher to watch list. And his zone contact rate that we said was like plus 8% as well. That stabilized down. And his expected ERA is down to 2.57. And when I said he was a pitcher to watch, it was at 3.02. So he might even be back on the pitcher to watch list because he could be getting moving better. But Luis Severino, I love him. He's also on my fantasy team. God bless his soul.
So in spite of being on your team, he's doing well.
In spite of it. That's a warrior. That is a hero. An American hero. So,
He's not American.
but he is today.
Okay.
All right. And at least he knows he's free.
I won't start singing. Well, so for my pitcher highlight,
And I'm glad Lisa no, next to you. I mean, and you gotta get it out at some point, Sean. He used to have a little teddy bear in his room. I'm talking to him when I fucking clicked that bit. And I'm gladly stand up.
it was singing the whole song.
It's like you fucking made a decision that you're gonna be awake for 3 minutes. And then oh, it was such a good time. I love that.
I think we threw that thing out.
Really?
No, it might be upstairs. If
That's gotta be a whole
after the pod, if we done recording and find it, we're gonna record something real quick. This song, no copyright. And I don't think I have it. We'll put it in right here. Anyway, Michael Wacha had himself a great week. Well, he had 2 starts this week. June 11th was his last one, which was yesterday. What's today? 12th. So I'm not going to count yesterday's start because it wasn't great. But his prior start against the Angels, he had a complete game shutout, 9 innings pitched, obviously, 3 hits. How many Ks here? Where's the strikeouts? Why am I missing K? I'm dyslexic. Am I missing Ks? K. Where's me had a fair amount of strikeouts?
No, that's something else. They're not telling you the
They're
strikeout.
not showing me strikeouts.
Oh, at the SO. They're going SO.
Oh.
They're going SO.
He had 6 SOs. Yeah. So, who's your pitcher highlight? Michael Wacha had a great week.
I went Luis Severino. He's an American, Sean. We're gonna get into
I really thought being in person would be better if we're going off the rails.
our first ever minor league highlight. And I'm gonna introduce you guys to the guy by the name of Jordan Diaz. Right now in Double-A for the Oakland Athletics. I'm a big fan of Jordan Diaz. Have some, excuse me, baseball cards of his I purchased this offseason. They've actually gone up in value, which is surprising and exciting. He is hitting .301 with 9 bombs and 21 doubles through 50 games this year. So damn near a double every other game. Last year, he had 24 doubles and 13 bombs through 90 games. So clearly he's improving. A lot of those singles are turning into extra base hits, which is exciting stuff. He has a really decent eye. His strikeout to walk rate is not bad whatsoever. And frankly, the reason I'm giving him a highlight is I think he can probably come up and provide more offense than Tony Kemp right now. I really only want to highlight people I think could probably make a major league impact at this moment. And I think Jordan Diaz, you call him up right now, he's a little spark plug for the Oakland A's. I really like his bat. I don't know what other stats to tell you guys because it's hard because we don't have obviously like StatCast type data. But I'm going to enter in a video right now of him hitting a home run, a little Oppo Taco. One of the reasons that I like him. He is not an Oppo Taco. One of the other reasons I like him. With Jordan Diaz, look for him. Hopefully he gets the call either at the end of this year or maybe next year.
Man, that was some video.
Thank you. And Sean, we can watch it. Why don't guys? You already saw
okay.
it. You're not going to see Sean's reaction to it. Let's share. Oh, well, let's go back.
I like the behind the home plate seating right
Yeah,
here.
that's pretty
That's
cool.
nice. Oh, that was just straight. That was a good spot.
Jordan Diaz.
How old is he?
He is 21, I believe.
So is he the top 100?
I don't think he is. He's the Oakland Athletics 13th ranked prospect.
No.
But I'm pretty high on him.
Those guys turn out to be sometimes the best players. Those like mid.
Yeah. I mean, that is why I bought some cards in because he's only their 13th ranked prospect, but he's been getting better every single year. His BABIP's not really out of control either right now. It's pretty much in line. So, I mean, I like Jordan Diaz. I think he's going to continue to get more power. I think he projects as like, 35 doubles, 25 homer type guy, hitting 280. And that's certainly Oakland can use that. I don't think he's that this year, but I think in the future.
Yeah.
I like that. Talking about our batter to watch from last week, Yordan Alvarez, again, kind of an easy pick, but he even had a better week than he did the week before. So I'll take a win. 10 for 23, made it average from 284 to 302. Yordan Alvarez is possibly the best hitter in baseball right now. He's other than Aaron Judge, he's going absolute buck wild. Batter to watch for this week, Max Kepler, Sean. First off, you might have saw, how many years do you think Max Kepler's been playing in the major leagues? 6. This is his 8th season. God, and they have given him every chance to try and figure it out and become the top prospect that he was supposed to be. His batting average right now is 246. His expected batting average is in the 91st percentile at 306, though. Never been a batting average guy.
No.
246 is the highest I think he's ever hit in his career. And, I mean, it's still much lower than it's supposed to be. His BABIP is 268, which you'd say, oh, well, that's why it's very low. No, it's the best of his career. That's how fucking bad he is.
Look at the stats right now.
But it's low for the MLB average, obviously. So if he's now decided to become a good MLB hitter, obviously it should be trending closer to 300. So it's really tough to tell. MLB average is around 280 to 300. Max Kepler's average is around 240. He's at 268 with an expected average of 306. So is Max Kepler a good hitter now and the BABIP should come up? Or is Max Kepler getting lucky? I don't know. I mean, last year was 225, 236. This is some of the worst BABIPs I've ever seen in my life, to be quite frank with you. I mean, yeah, he's never really hit above 2. Well, he hit 252 one year in 2019 when everyone hit 250 a plus. But yeah, I mean, basically I'm saying I think Max Kepler's going to have a good couple weeks. The one thing I do like about him, 16% K ratio, 12% walk rate. Which for someone like Max Kepler, I'm excited about that. So maybe he improved his eye at the plate. He's swinging at better pitches, making harder contact.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats now. He actually for what he doesn't strike out as much as some other people. He's
Right.
only broken 100 strikeouts once in his career.
Yeah. He just doesn't hit the ball well. But this season, he actually is. He got a lot of red dots as well. So let's look for Max Kepler to have a good week this week. I'll go to my pitcher to watch, I guess. Do you have a batter or pitcher to watch this week, Sean?
I don't have one pre-planned out, but
Okay. What are you thinking about?
it's tough.
Okay.
I think I don't know.
Well, we're going to my pitcher to watch. Let's not put the blame on Sean here. Let's not do that. Aaron Ashby, Milwaukee Brew Crew. ERA is 391, expected ERA 283. His walk percentage is over 10%, which is really what he needs to fix. As well, his expected batting average on his fastball. Let's what we do with pitchers that we're watching. Let's just take you into it. Why not? I feel like it's just easier to show you than say it. So let's take a look at his fastball here. So the expected batting average on his fastball, Sean, it's about 400. Not a good pitch, I don't think. His curveball, about .058. Good pitch, Yeah. We're figuring stuff out now. So the biggest difference is in his last game, he started to make the change where he did not throw a fastball in his last game. Wow, good job. But he did throw 19% curveballs. He threw 20 of them. Also, good job. Bump up the pitch you're doing the best with, knock down the pitch you're not doing good with. Seems simple, but can sometimes be hard for people. But his curveball is sitting at, I think, about 12% this season. So an 8% increase just in the last game. So if you can get that curveball up to 20%, close to the changeup, eliminate the fastball, I think you could have a lot of success with that. So I'm looking to see him kind of realize what the repertoire is doing, working with it, and then Aaron Ashby having a good couple starts this week.
Now, do you think, like years ago, they didn't always have these numbers and this data available to them?
Yeah.
I wonder how many pitchers and hitters would have benefited from this. Like, this stuff didn't really become readily available to probably the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
And even to us more recently.
Yeah.
I just 1970s. Do you think they have a percentage of what their expected batting average is? You know what I mean?
No,
that's pretty wild.
I mean, it is pretty crazy because you'd imagine that. There was more of a confidence thing. Like if you weren't throwing a good fastball, it's that's still your fastball. You throw it.
Yeah.
Where it's now, for the first time ever, I would say in the last 2 years, I think a lot of people's primary has become secondary pitches.
Yeah.
Like Clayton throws off a slider now.
Yeah.
Throws off a slider. That's probably his. I think slider is more than a fastball that he throws now.
Yeah, and fastball counts aren't a thing anymore. 2-0,
Yeah.
3-1, 3-0. You don't necessarily get those fastball pitches in the fastball counts.
Everyone can hit a fastball. Everyone can hit a hard fastball at this point, and we're getting to the point where, I think more than likely you're going to see an all-speed pitch when you're at the plate, which is interesting because that really, it was probably 60% fastball, 70% fastball at a certain point, and the off-speed was to keep you off the fastball. Now it's the fastball is to keep you off the off-speed. Yeah. I wonder how that will play into hitters now adjusting to hitting off-speed pitches really well, and to see if that has an effect. Because if hitters only face off-speed pitching for a long time now, and they get really proficient at hitting that, I think it could be detrimental in the long term to pitchers because they can always hit the fastball. Or does the fastball now come back in style because they don't see it as much?
It's like they say in fashion, it's just an endless loop. What was out of style comes back in style. It's just baseball takes a while because the fastball has been primary pitch until, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. It's just interesting to see. Another interesting thing I want to mention, strikeouts have been way down this year. I mean, it's still higher than years in the past, but compared to the most recent years, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but strikeouts have been very much on the decline and more balls are being put in play. I must say, just watching mostly Mets games, the Mets and other teams are putting the ball in play a lot more than previous years. And it's noticeable. Not every game. You still get those games where it's 15 strikeouts, the team strike, you know what I mean? But the games seem to move along a little bit faster. And what I hear about the pitch clock in the minor leagues, I don't remember who said it, He was an MLB executive on the team. He said he went to a minor league game. He said the pitch clock is going to be the best thing that has ever happened to baseball. He said the minor league games are like averaging like 2.5 hours. I'm not sure how they necessarily will enforce that, but good stuff on the horizon, I think.
I just had a little light bulb go off in my head here.
Yeah.
Strikeouts are way down. They are. There's a lot more contact. It is. We're getting back to my thing I keep trying to figure out. Maybe the way people are trying to battle the whole strikeout balloon in the last couple of years is to swing at more pitches.
Yeah.
Earlier in the counts. To try and get the ball and play more. Maybe that's why swing percentages are so much up. And walk percentages are so down because to combat the striking out, they have to swing more. Put the ball in play.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
They don't want to get deeper, and every time you get deeper in counts, most of these pitchers have just wipe out pitches.
Yeah.
You have no shot.
Well, and then it seems like the best hitters nowadays are swinging early in the count. Like Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, they don't want to let the count get deep. They like to attack. Like
Trey Turner is way down.
Yeah, Trey Turner attacks right early. Like you think about all the best hitters, and I'd say probably 90% of them are early count attack. I mean, you think about it when.
I honestly might be what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like when there's runners on base, scoring position late in the game, hitters are always swinging. They're always swinging early in the count. Very rarely do you see a hitter wait to get like 2-2, 2-1. Like it seems like when an offense is flowing, they're swinging early and often in the count.
Yeah.
So there must be something to that.
And I will say, the two players that you kind of think of having really long at bats, but still being successful. Soto and Muncy, in my mind, very hot. We're probably going to have. They're both going to be in the top 5 in walks every year, but also have very successful offensive seasons. Are really struggling in the batting average department.
Yeah.
Muncy's under 200 still. Soto's at 225.
Yeah.
People thought Soto was going to hit easy over 300. People thought 320 for Soto was probably like the minimum.
Yeah. I mean, Soto did well last year, so I don't know. I think it's weird. Can it really happen that quick?
I don't think it can happen that quick, but I'm just saying, like, it's interesting to see that the guys that aren't swinging early are struggling now.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys who are having successful years that maybe aren't usually doing it are not walking as much.
And there's always a time and place for taking. Maybe earlier in the game, maybe you're feeling the pitcher out, take deep into counts because you do need to work the pitcher to get him out of the game, go to the bullpen because typically the bullpen isn't as good as a starter, but that's kind of changed around recently as well. But there's definitely a time and place for attacking and then maybe laying back. But that would explain the interesting decrease in walks and increase in average and hits. Cleaning percentage.
We might be finally starting to dig into some. Sean, thank you for the light bulb. I mean, that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed just watching us think through something.
That was good. See that we don't really get that one. No. When we're together, that's what we get.
That was happens. Our hot take. My hot take from last week was that the Dodgers and Astros both get to 40 wins. I think they're both 35, 36. They had some tough weeks, so I'm sorry. My hot take for this week is the Yankees win just 2 games. They're playing the Rays and the Blue Jays, and Judge, who hit another 2 homers before I wrote this last night, is going homerless this week. He's at 24. He will not be at 25 by the end of the next week.
Wow. Okay.
No homers the whole week. 7 days. No homers.
Okay.
None. Not Zippo.
Okay. That's a statement and a half right there.
Last segment here, our picks to click.
Oh, yeah, my hot take.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What is your hot take? My hot take last week was the Angels were going to sweep the Red Sox. They almost got swept by the Red Sox. They lost 2 out of 3. My hot take this week is the Mets division lead currently stands at 5.5 games. I think it's going to be 3 to 2.5 games, between 3 and 2.5 by the end of this week. I hope that's not the case, but I think it could be. The Braves and Phillies are in fuego.
They are in fuego. Let's in fuego to the picks to click. 2 of our favorite players, Manny Machado and Bryce Harper, are hitting 324 and 322, 6th and 7th in the league respectively. Which one ends the week with a higher average? And a bonus point if you can pick who of them will be in the top 5. I don't know why there's just a period there, but it's supposed to say 5. So Machado's hitting 324, Harper's hitting 322. Who will have a higher average at the end of the week?
I think Harper, because Machado's been struggling a lot lately. He was hitting like 338, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he's really started to tank. I mean, he's still hitting 320, 326.
24. They're basically hitting the same. I'm going to take chalk here. I'm going to go with Machado simply because I can't pick Harper. I mean, I can't pick Machado either, but it's just, lesser of two Eves at this point. 6th and 7th right now in the league. Do either of them crack the top 5?
I think Harper does.
Harper will be
The Phillies are on fire right now, so I don't know how long that will last. But right now, I think that he's going to ride it out as long as he can. The whole team's hitting right now.
I don't like that out of you, Sean. I'm going to look at the top 5 here with you and see who I think. I think these 3 probably stay. So I think there's probably no, these 2 could both. Machado's down to 320 after yesterday. Harper stayed at 322. So Machado is struggling. Oh, man. Harper's probably going to be top 5. And Machado isn't, but I already said Machado's going to
Also, Paul Goldschmidt, shout out. He hasn't been any of our players yet this year, surprisingly.
He almost beat out Kirk.
But he is absolutely putting on a year right now.
I'm going to say Machado in neither. I think that is probably a 2-point swing for you right there. I feel you probably got that one.
Okay.
Number 2, 4 of our actual favorite players have the lucky number 13 for home runs currently. Devers, Vlad, Peterson, and Soto. How many combined homers have they hit this week? Let me just make sure that is still the case. It is. They are the 4 players with 13 homers. Stanton also got in there, but we're not going to talk about it. So those 4. Oh, Ohtani stuck into the 13th homer club. That's another favorite player. But we'll just stay with the people we named: Devers, Guerrero, Peterson, and Soto. How many homers this week for those 4?
Combined?
Yeah.
I'd say each one of them hits 1. Nah, you know what? I'm going to go 5. I think Soto hits 2.
I'm going to go with 7. Sean goes with 5. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Last one. Milwaukee has lost 8 straight, while Atlanta has won 10 straight. This has given Atlanta a 0.5 lead, half-game lead for the NL second wild card spot. Who will have the better winning percentage at the end of the week? And a bonus point for who will have the last wild card spot. I have standings here.
I just want to see who they're playing.
It's still the same. It is still that way.
The Braves are playing the Pirates and the Nationals this week. They play the Pirates again tonight, and they play the Nationals.
Who's the Brew Crew playing?
And they go to the Cubs. So good. Braves. The Mets. I'm not going to get into it.
What's better winning percentage?
I'm concerned about the Mets. I hope my hot take isn't right, but so the Brewers play the Mets. Then they play the Reds.
I'm going to say the Brewers have a better winning percentage.
Really?
I think we'll get up on that.
I'm going Braves. And then what was the who will have the last 2 wild card spots? 2.5 games out of 2. So the wild card spots are currently on the standings.
Yeah. That's the standings. The Phillies have also now 2.5 games out after their own 9-game winning streak. A lot of winning streaks here. And San Francisco's tied with Atlanta. So I'm going to say it's Atlanta and Milwaukee.
I'm saying it's staying the same. I'm thinking it's San Fran and Atlanta.
I'm going to say Milwaukee takes out San Francisco. I think that's just a hope thing. Because I don't like the Giants. All right. Well, we'll see. I think my answers are clearly worse across the board this week. But let's hope I get lucky.
I hope you don't.
Thank you.
I've blown the lead.
Yes. And I'm giving you. I took some hot takes this week. My picks to click, but when you lose them, Machado's gonna get hot tonight.
Yeah, he's been cold, but he's due for to get hot.
Well, that's all I got from today, Sean.
That's all I got too.
We'll see you guys next week.